uh, okay, now, got a bit of a mix-up between segments 11 and 12 of the Magic Sneakers. I'd recorded both at the same time, and section 11 was run over 10 minutes. I think it was 11 point something minutes. And the YouTube mechanism, whatever they use, wouldn't accept it, of course. So I think you can go a little bit over 10 minutes, but not more. So I'm trying to remember where. Well, I had to delete 11. It wouldn't take. So, and I'd already done 12, and that was posted. So you read some of the last part before the first. So I'm going to start with 11 again, and then read on to where we left off at 12 and finish the book. So it'll be 2 segments, I think. Be more than 10 minutes. So that's about all, I guess. We did have another mix-up between 11 and 12. So if you've watched, you might have watched 12 as posted as 11 before. It's a little bit mix-up. Sorry about that. This is all new to me, so anyway, we'll continue on. It's 2:56. Okay. This is, I might have read this little part before. It was after the description of Oz and an alien experience, chapter 9. Meanwhile, back at the White House, Jimmy is trying to determine whether he if he really had a visitation from a long-dead president. But no sooner had the image of Lincoln disappeared than 2 new images began to form, of 2 very distinct images of alien beings. He knew they were aliens from drawings he'd seen that were supposedly observed by so-called inductees. But we won't go into that here. They descended, or rather floated down, what seemed to be the outline of some kind of ramp, above which hovered a spaceship, making a very low humming sound. The beings stopped less than 3 feet from the boy. They were not very tall, about 4 feet in height, and were dressed in metallic-looking one-piece space suits that closely followed the contour of their slender bodies. They had quite large heads, which were somewhat out of proportion to their overall physique. Their eyes were large and dough-shaped, and were the blackest of black, with no pupils visible. Jimmy sensed an intelligence emanating from their eyes that was far in excess of ordinary people. Their skin was a dull grayish hue, no color at all. Jimmy waited for them to speak. For some reason, he was totally unafraid. One of them raised his right hand in greeting. He spoke without moving his lips. At least, Jimmy heard the words clearly inside his head, but could sense no outside sound. "Greetings, young friend. We are honored to make your acquaintance. I hope you are not afraid of us." "Indeed not," replied Jimmy. "In fact, I am honored to make your acquaintance. I've always wanted to meet a space person." "Well," replied the other being, you're a space person too." "I am?" said Jimmy incredulously. "I'm afraid you're mistaken. I guess I'm an Earthling." "And where, my little friend, do you think Earth is? Is it not suspended in space like all the other planets? And does it not make a complete rotation upon its axis every 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.09 seconds, and at a speed of 1,000 miles per hour? And does it not orbit your sun every 365 days and 6 hours and 9 minutes and 9.5 seconds, and at a speed of about 20 miles per second? And does it not revolve along with the moon around a common center of gravity and move with the entire solar system through your local star system at 13 miles per second? And does not your local star system move within the Milky Way at the rate of 200 miles per second? And does not the Milky Way drift with respect to the remote external galaxies at the rate of 100 miles per second, and in all different directions? And does not your galaxy itself make a complete rotation about an axis every 200 million years? And does it not travel through space with over 100 billion other suns of its galactic family, not to mention an untold number of planets?" Jimmy nodded meekly. I knew our planet was in space. I just didn't know all the details. Well, continued the being, even if you mortals could travel at the speed of light, it would still take you 100,000 years to cross your galaxy from edge to edge. The spaceman motioned towards the faint outline of a craft behind him and seemingly hovering. However, our ship could visit the Andromeda galaxy, which is about 2,100,000 light years from Earth, and return before you could say Stephen Hawking. I'd say that is a little bit faster than the speed of light. We could not afford to waste 2 million years, actually over 4 million years round trip. We'd never get anything done. Now wait just a minute, said Jimmy. You can't go faster than the speed of light. They told us in school that would be against the laws of physics. We learned long ago, replied the spaceman, that the laws of physics kept us very tightly bound until we found we could gain dominion over those laws. You see, we earned that right over a long period of time. Dominion over physical law requires certain knowledge of science beyond the physical, as well as a working knowledge of the spiritual laws. The two must work hand in hand. For example, your scientists are working strictly from a physical perspective. They are totally unaware that the atoms, the building blocks of matter, have a counterpart of a higher frequency, one that falls outside of the realm of what you would term physical. In any event, without that counterpart, the physical world as you know it could not exist. However, your scientists are making progress. They now know there is a web linking every particle in existence, and that if you make the slightest change in the smallest thing in existence, it will have some effect, however tiny, instantaneously throughout all known physical reality. To describe this web, they use words like entanglement, non-locality, and theorize that space-time is a spinning superfluid. They're also finding out that while your planet is but a grain of sand on the beach of your universe is but one of billions of universes. In fact, the number is so vast that your scientists would have to utilize the measurement they call a googol, or even a googolplex. A googol meaning to 10 to the power of 100, while a googolplex being 10 to the power of a googol. Now I want to demonstrate to you the practical aspects of our advanced knowledge relative to your scientists. Our spaceship is vibrating at the atomic rate of the collective atoms that comprise the material makeup of the said ship. Now as we observe the ship, I am going to concentrate on this counterpart of the atom that your scientists might refer to as antimatter or antiparticle. These antiparticles are what we would call the pure state of the atom. You might say they are the inner core of the atom. You might even say that they are the very soul of the atom, since they furnish the power that maintains the motion of the atom. In any event, this is the medium we work with. Incidentally, if you could observe the motion of this counterpart of the atom, you would see that it is in constant motion as it conveys its power to the atom. It turns incessantly upon its own axis, spinning like a top. It is constantly pulsating, gyrating, and I might even say dancing in a most beautiful manner. I might tell you at this point that the name we give to this wonderful animating force is quite naturally the anim. It makes me wonder if it's that Biggs particle that they talk about. Anyway, you know, the God particle. Anyway, now I'm going to concentrate on the atomic structure of our ship. I'm going to raise the rate of vibration or frequency of the individual atoms to the higher rate of the atom state. As I do so, the ship will no longer be detected by your eye-to-brain circuits. To your limited senses, it will be completely invisible to you. It is this little trick that plays havoc with the minds of your fellow mortals that occasionally catch a glimpse of our ships in your skies, only to see them disappear in an instant. One more minute, I think. Now, as I continue to concentrate, I am projecting the ship to a certain coordinate, namely a specific planetary member of the galaxy Andromeda. This is done at the speed of thought, which is instantaneous. There. The starship vanished in less than a blink. And then, now it's back again, the spaceman announced, and indeed it truly was. What do you think? Of course Jimmy was beside himself. He could not speak. Wow, he said eventually. Wow. Naturally, continued the spaceman, I had to lower the vibrations again to remanifest it into your reality. But this is the manner of transportation that enables us to come and go as we please, and in doing so, somewhat confuse your scientists and governmental authorities. Okay, we end right there for now, and I'll do another segment in a second here. Turn it off.